the verse of Romans chapter 3. Romans 3, verse 21, the 21st verse. The verse says, but now, apart from what? In other words, people think that in order to be saved, you have to fulfill God's law, don't they? I mean, before the cross, if you broke one commandment, you became guilty of all the commandments. If there was one faithful Jew here, a Jew would be offended by what I'm about to say, because the Jew lives by the law. And if there was an Adventist, he would say that can't be apart from the law, because it is talking there about the law of God, the law of Moses. But then it says, what it is trying to tell you is that Paul sets aside the entire Old Testament. Everything what the Christians today believe, Paul is setting aside. You know that if you go to a church, the church is going to tell you, you have to live by God's law. Well, Paul says you don't. Look at what it says. But now, apart from the law, you have to throw the law aside. The righteousness of God apart from the law is revealed, being witnessed by the law itself. In other words, the law of Moses said that something better was coming. Hey, that's wonderful. It says witnessed by the law and the prophets. God's justice by means of what? Through faith in Jesus Christ. It means that if you believe in Jesus Christ, if you believe in Jesus Christ, you don't have to practice the law, because this righteousness has nothing to do with the law that He Himself imposed on Moses. Take a look at what it says later on in chapter 4, specifically verse 6. Romans 4:6. Just as David also describes the blessedness of the man to whom God imputes what? Righteousness apart from what? Hey, but how easy this is. Someone will say, so this church in Puerto Rico, they say it's something easy. So this church is without works? Well, if you want to be right with God. Now, if you want to add works to it, a work that you do thinking that you will please God, God rejects you. You cannot bring works here, neither good nor bad. If you do a good deed, good for you, that's fine. If you make a bad one, bad for you. But here we do not live by works. That is why we live at rest. Do you know what it's like to serve God in fear? Oh, Father, am I right with God? Is God watching over me? I did not pray the rosary this morning. I did not read the Bible. I did not kneel. I did not pray. I did not make the sign of the cross on time. I did not go to Mass on Sunday. I did a bad deed. Meanwhile, God says, God imputes righteousness to you without works. Hey,